take my parking spot. What goes around comes around. This may be the pettiest thing I have ever done. So in my city there is a pub that's attached to a donut shop that serves the best donuts in the city, which always causes a long line. Because it's attached to a pub, it doesn't close shop until 9 p.m. as there is a solid flow of business rolling in. Anyway, my girlfriend and I get a serious hankering for some snacks, so we decide to head to the donut shop and arrive out around 8:30 p.m. by car. Now, there are only 3 parallel parking spots a little up the street from the place, and they are all 15-minute spots which are usually full. We see up the street that, count our lucky stars, a spot is free. My girlfriend pulls a little ahead of the car in front of the spot, turns on her indicator, and begins backing into parking spot when this little white Vespa driving behind us whips into the spot. I roll down our window and call out to the driver, "Excuse me, we were just backing in." The driver seems to be a pretty university student who shrugs her shoulders and calls out to me, "Sorry, first come first serve," while her and her friend share a good laugh. My girlfriend suggests we just get donuts another time, and I tell her she can drop me off here. I'll buy the donuts since I know what she likes, and she can loop around. She agrees, and I pop out of the car, past the little white Vespa where the girls are still gathering their things, and head to the shop. As always, the line is super long for donuts, and since this is the last batch, the donuts are slim pickings. The girls are behind me looking at the 5 or so different flavors that are left, talking about which ones are best and which they haven't had yet. I hear one of them jokingly mention, "Thank God we got a parking spot," and they burst out laughing. I get to the front of the line, and when asked for my order, request 2 dozen donuts, which is every last one remaining. The girls behind me didn't listen to what I ordered, but eyebrows of confusion started to form on their faces, and they slowly saw each donut loaded into the boxes and their options dwindle. One of them, the driver, in desperation asked the baker who was loading them, "And what? You're not even going to save a few for us though?" To which I turned around and said, "Sorry, first come first serve." She honestly looked like she just simultaneously solved a movie mystery and shit her pants. It's difficult to put into words, but truly an expression I can never forget. Best donuts I ever tasted, and enjoyed by the rest of my office the next morning. Landlord always keeps security deposits. Game on. Please be gentle. It's my first story. Many moons ago, after my divorce, I saved up enough money to move from my apartment, a building with 12 units, and buy a house. I was really excited and told my favorite neighbor. He told me not to even bother trying to get my security deposit back because the landlord never returned security deposits. I turned in my notice. The landlord didn't bother to do a final walkthrough. After 30 days, I emailed her and asked about my deposit. No response. I filed a small claim court case for the deposit. This lovely lady's strategy was to hire a lawyer and bump it up to the next higher court. Most people quit after she bumped it up to the next higher court. I had some spare time, and have always loved a good game of strategy. I double-checked with the court to make sure I could represent myself. FYI, anyone can. I then sent a certified letter to her attorney asking for a full disclosure of the evidence being presented. A huge thank you all those TV shows that explain what full disclosure is. A week later I received a call from the lawyer called asking what I wanted in order to avoid court settlement accomplished. The petty revenge. I let my neighbor how to get his deposit back when he was ready to move. He let the other tenants know how to get their deposits back. OP1. Landlord -12. I'm sorry, who are you? Context: I've, 20 female, been bullied all my life and have been in recovery for a multitude of things for the past year or so. I go to university in the same city I grew up in, so there's a high chance of me coming across people went to previous schools or who hurt, bullied me. I was well known for being bad-tempered and easy to wind up when I was younger. What happened? I was in the pharmacy waiting to pick up my prescription when someone shouted something at me. I pretended to not hear them and they shouted again. They ended up getting frustrated and tugging on my arm. I twisted around and immediately recognized who it was, a guy, 20 male, who had bullied me for over 10 years. So rather than get angry, I thought I would mess with him and see what happens. Him: "Hi, heard you were in local university." Me: "I'm sorry, but I don't know who you are. Do I know you from somewhere?" Immediately he deflated. It was glorious to see. I had to stop myself from smiling. Him: "It's me, his name, from school. Come on, you know me." Me, with a confused face, acting 100, "I'm really sorry, but I don't know you. Did we go swimming together perhaps?" Him: "No, I don't think so." Me: "I'm really sorry, but I just don't know who you are. I think you should go to the back of the line, sir." I went on my phone and just blocked him out. He looked lost and eventually went to the back of the line. I got my prescription, ignored him and went to my car and drove off. I literally screamed for joy and also because I was about to break down. It was a wonderful feeling to see him like that and to feel like he had nothing against me. To make him feel like he hadn't had a large effect on my life. Edit: I'm amazed so many people have read this, seeing as I wrote this in 5 minutes in an ASDA car park. To the people who think he was about to be nice or that I bullied him, I have to disagree. He was never nice to me, and would love to pretend to be nice and then pull the rug. Nothing I could do would be half as worse as what he's done to me. I don't owe him anything. Hi again, Edit. Thank you all for the love and awards, it means a lot. And I just want to clarify that he didn't shout my name but said "Oi Ginger," and that he was probably gonna make fun of the fact I'm going to the local university and not a better one. Calling her fake quitting bluff. This happened years ago but still makes me smile. I started working in a corporate office in a secretarial position for my first job after college. There were 2 older ladies who were also secretaries working in the office. One of them was just fine, but I spent most of my time sitting beside and working with Agnes. Agnes was quickly approaching retirement age but wasn't going anywhere without a big push. This was in the days where we just started getting computers and she was absolutely hopeless. She'd pull stuff like "I can't answer the phone, I'm on the computer." Multitasking was not in this woman's repertoire. She was super fussy and annoying. If I ever came back from lunch 5 minutes late, she would exclaim loudly, "OMG, there you are. I was wondering what had happened to you," making sure the whole office knew I was late. Meanwhile, she was usually late coming in the morning, and often left early for various appointments. If I made a typo in a document, she would make sure the rest of the staff knew about it, loudly. She tended to pout when things didn't go her way, and she would quit her job when someone pissed her off, and then my boss's boss would talk her into staying. I'd heard about this tactic of hers, and one day, our boss did something that annoyed her and she quit again. My boss's boss was away that day, so I had my chance. I quickly advertised and planned a big retirement party for her. It was a done deal by the end of the day. People were dropping by and congratulating her, and everyone looked forward to the party. At that point, I guess she figured it was too late to pull her usual shenanigans and she actually retired. I told my boss to not bother replacing her because it was damn easy to cover the little work she actually accomplished every day. Stupid woman bests water department workers. My ex-husband and I bought our home from his parents. They had the house built in the 50s. For years, father-in-law wanted to install a shut-off valve in the utility room to, shut off the water to the whole house to do some repairs. Plumber told him it would cost a large amount of money because they could not find the shut-off from the city water main at the street, the Buffalo Box, aka water main shut-off valve. Since the Buffalo Box was MIA, they would have to freeze the pipes to stop the water before installing the shut-off valve. It was an expensive process to freeze the pipes, so it never got done. When we bought the house, we decided to get the shut-off valve installed. We called the water department and they sent 2 workers to shut off the water. When they arrived, I explained the problem. They went out to the front yard, walked around a bit and told me there was nothing they could do for me. According to the 2 workers, it was my problem that they could not find the Buffalo Box and that I should call a plumber to dig up my front yard, sidewalk, and city easement to find my Buffalo Box. Well, I have a background in residential real estate construction and I was familiar with how water mains and buffalo boxes are installed, and I told them it was the city's issue, as they were responsible for the buffalo box, not the homeowners. According to these guys, as a woman, I did not know what I was talking about and they left. They were incredibly rude about it, but peons like these think they can get away with being rude to an ignorant woman like me. Fast forward to a year or so later. I get a call from the city manager asking why I hadn't paid my water bill for over a year. I told him that I wanted to pay my water bill, but I wanted them to first turn off my water. He was a bit taken aback that I wanted them to turn off the water. So, I explained what the city workers told me about locating the buffalo box and their attitude about women not understanding those type of things. I also told him that if the city could not turn off my water, I would be happy to have free water forever, cause I would never pay another bill. We had a nice long chat about the situation and he said that he would resolve my concerns. The next day, these same two guys show up at my house with some digging equipment and spend the whole day digging up the easement and the sidewalk. Their attitudes were rather somber, cause the city manager told me he was going to give them a talking to about how they mishandled the situation. I even got an apology. They found the buffalo box under the city-owned sidewalk. They fixed the buffalo box so it would be accessible and came the next day to fix the sidewalk. They asked if I wanted the water turned off, declined, and I told them I would have my plumber take care of it when we had him install the interior shut-off valve. And then I paid the water bill.